You sit there, lie about in your own sorrow, believing that you have experienced the depths of suffering and the cheat of failure. You haven't even begun to explore the depths of sorrows. Sit back and pay full attention, and you will gain some insight into true darkness, the type that utilizes you completely and spits you out in fragments. My mother passed away, leaving me in this alone environment, and my father was an alcoholic. I was born into this nightmare, where hope was a fade memory that people mentioned but never really believed in. A shadow of a man who saw me as the cause of all his problems beat me until my skin turned black and blue. But the physical pain was nothing compared to the emptiness that altered at my soul. Have you ever been so hungry that you can't recall when you were satisfied? That's the kind of hunger that eats at your souls as well as your stomach. I looked the streets for pieces, stealing from market stalls to survive, and the children I grew up with became giants, each one trying to outdo the other in cruelty in order to feel a brief sense of power in their costless lives. I murdered a man. He came at me with a knife and wild, desperate eyes, and I didn't feel shy. The look on his face as life was clear out of him will always haunt me. But you know what? That was the first time I felt anything other than sorrow. It was as if I had taken control of my own fate, even if only briefly. Every step I took was a dance with death, and I joined the gang, the only family I had ever known, because there was no other option. I was barely a teenager, but in this world, you either strike first or find yourself rotting in some path. We fought in a war as soldiers. It's no cause, no glory, and only to survive. I have witnessed my brothers being killed in front of me, their dreams put out like candles in the wind, and their blood stained the streets. Everybody we left behind served as a reminder that life is short and low price, and I lost count. You should be prepared to accept the darkness and allow it to consume you until all that remains is a shell. If you believe that ambition is a road moved with gold, it is actually a road drowned in blood, sweat, and tears. Every inch you climb is done with the weight of 1,000 failures pulling you down. Each one tells a story of loss, bad faith, and unspeakable suffering. This one on my leg served as a reminder that no matter how strong you believe you are, there is always someone stronger who will take pleasure in scattering you apart. I am the dark warrior, modified by the cruelties of life, whose dreams were torn from me, whose soul was torn, but I am still here. This one across my chest keep the moment my closest friend disloyalty me for a few coins. Trust is an expensive cheap people cannot afford. I rise not out of choice, but since my only option is to die, I refuse to allow this world to break me completely. If you want to be ambitious and climb out of this pit, you must realize that suffering is a constant and not a phase. It is the fuel that keeps you going when every fiber in your body begs you to stop. You will lose everything you hold dear. You will encounter disloyalty that pierces deeper than any knife, and you will walk through the valley of death alone, with only your shadows for company and shape you. You'll discover a strength you never knew you had, and you'll rise, not because you were meant to, but because you've battled fearless manner for every square inch of ground, becoming more than just a man, a force of nature, unbreakable and unstoppable. Quit complaining and quit blaming the outside world for your suffering. If you want to climb, you must acknowledge that suffering is your companion, boss, and source of motivation. The world doesn't care about your pain, goals. It will grin you without hesitation, and no one will be sad when you die. The shadows, I'm the symbol of pain, the climax of every dark thought and broken dream. And if I can stand here resistant in the face of a world that has done everything in its power to destroy me, then so can you. But take note, kid. This path isn't for the weak of heart. It's a journey through hell, and only the damned can walk it. If you're happy to accept the darkness and allow it to fuel your ambitions are always there. I won't lie to you and say that the pain ever goes away, because it becomes a part of you and a constant reminder of every fight you've fought and every loss you've suffered. There are nights when the memories crawl in, uninvited and non-stopping, and the weight of it all feels like it will crush me. They're waiting to claim you the moment you falter. It is a never-ending effort that we pay for having the courage to stand up to a world that wants to see us. And the faces of the people I have lost and failed haunt my nightmares with their voices booming in the silence and merciless. This isn't about finding light at the end of the tunnel. Sometimes there isn't any light at all, but about becoming the light yourself, a light in the darkness burning with the power of every hardship you've faced. It's about staring into the void and refusing to blink, knowing that every struggle has shaped you into a weapon. When you're ready to stop feeling sorry for yourself and start moving your own path, I'll be here as a living testament that you can and will emerge from the shadows, or you can and will be consumed by them. So keep working and going.